Good morning, good morning. Ooh, I've got smudged mascara. Ooh, can't have that all the way through. That's better. Just call me vain. Just typing a comment. Good morning, Kay. How are you this morning? Are you keeping well? Just, it's been a morning. Morning, Audrey. You're here. Excellent. I keep looking at the back of my stamp case, expecting to find the colours for the paper that I'm using. Not great, not clever. So, for those of you in the UK, how many of you have had snow overnight? Because my father, who lives in London, has, although it's melting fast. Us in South Oxfordshire haven't, but I know up in the north and in Scotland, Audrey, I gather it's pretty vile. I'm very well. I'm a little frazzled. I overslept. Never a good thing to do when you're going to have a live in the morning. So it's been a little frenetic, which is why I'm still faffing. Just seeing if I've got, oh, I could use that one. I'm just seeing if I had a card base pre-cut that I can use for this morning. That's Poppy Parade. That's Real Red. No. So yes, what's snow? Morning, Pamela. You're in Deeping St James in Lincolnshire. Wow! And you're just found me. It's raining. Oh, sorry, Kay. I'm glad you haven't got too much snow, Audrey. I'm in a schizophrenic space with the snow at the moment because I love snow. I think it's really pretty. But at the moment I'm kind of relaxed about it simply because I haven't got anywhere to go. I'm not allowed to go anywhere. So there is a huge part of me that says if we're going to have snow, now would be a really good time to have it. So, oops, I'm losing your comments. Let me get everything in the right place. Oh no, they are coming up. Raining in Deeping St James too. Yeah. I don't think we had snow. We were told we were going to have snow, but I don't think we've had any of it. So it's all just a bit bleh. A little bit bleh. So I'm going to be playing with some Sale-a-Bration items today. I'm using the Touch of Ink stamp set and also the Flower and Fields Designer Series paper. Raining in South Oregon as well. Well, there we are. And good heavens, it must be really early in the morning in Southern Oregon. It's just gone 10 here, so it must be incredibly early with you. Ooh, that's pretty. Sorry, I'm still kind of making things up. You've had a dusting in Essex, have you, Belinda? That looks as if it's almost cut to size. Ah, right. Okay. What could I? Oh, that's a thought. Right. Okay. I think I sort of know exactly where I'm starting, at least. Although that's now the wrong colour. Card base I've got out. 2 a.m. in the morning. Linda, it's lovely to see you here. Why are you awake at 2 o'clock in the morning? Do you work shifts or something? Poppy Parade. I've got a Poppy Parade base, so I can use that with that. There we go. That works with that. And then that's all good. Right. Okay. I think I know where I'm going. Tara, you're also in the US. It must be ridiculously early in the morning. Morning, Renee. So yes, we're using a touch of ink. Don't expect to be using my brain this morning because, you know, don't know where that's gone. 5 a.m. in Ohio. Okay. You ladies, you're all... I've got to put some hand cream on. This is ridiculous. My hands are terribly, terribly dry at the moment. Let me take that ring off. So, are we all enjoying Sale-a-Bration? I hope we are. I'm loving it. There are some really lovely things in it. And because they are all made in America, rather than in China, and as Chinese New Year is about to start, it means that if things sell faster than we think they're going to, we can get them back in again. Woo! Right, okay, so having decided that I'm doing that first, I can almost get started, which is always good. Yes, that is even cut to size. Whoa! Okay, so I am going to... So Linda has been stamping. It is slightly addictive, isn't it? So you do kind of get to that point where you just forget the time. So I'm going to flip everything down. There we go. So hopefully that will catch up in a moment. I am going to go and grab some blends. Actually, will I? No, I don't think I will. I am going to need to grab some ink because I haven't even got that out yet. How sad is this? Right, so that I want. So I want Pecker Pink, and I think I'll go Pecker Pink and Pool Party for my first card. So Pool Party, Pecker Pink. Right. Okay, so I'm using, as I say, Flower and Fields paper. I've got a piece of Whisper White. I probably need another one because I'll need a liner. So I am still using up Whisper White. They do all seem the same day, don't they, Belinda? So you may already know that Stampin' Up's supplier for Whisper White went out of business. So... we're now doing Basic White. Most Basic White products are in Europe now, but I'm still using up my Whisper White. So this is Whisper White, but I'm going to refer to it as white until we've fully transitioned. Tara likes the snails, and... and your brain isn't working yet either, no. Hello, Glenda from Perth. Oh, I know I say this every time I see anyone join from Perth. I love Perth. I mean, it's many years since I've been there, but I do love Perth. Right, okay, so I've got a Poppy Parade base, and this is a half sheet of card. I will put North American and international A4 measurements on my website. It'll be going live on Monday. But basically this is a half sheet of card. You could cut it short and fat. It's not that different. I just like to be able to see inside the card when I'm doing my photography. Darling Donkeys are wonderful. Audrey's trying to stitch the lining of hubby's black glittens. Do you mean glittens or mittens? With black thread. Not easy on the eyes. No, absolutely not. So yes, this is just a half sheet scored in the middle. Then I've got a piece of the paper, the pattern paper, which is on a black background, which I quite like. This is my normal first layer, so it's good grief. I've just realised how much the Poppy Parade on my camera looks like it's almost terracotta tile. Oh well, anyway, it's Poppy Parade. So this is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. It's my normal back layer. So it just gives a small margin around the card. And then I've got this as a piece of scrap. What I'm going to do is, let me just see my position. So if that goes there, might come off a little. Ooh, okay. If that goes there, that can go there. Right. I just wanted to position things because I want this to be that way in an ideal world. I may end up doing fussy cutting. In fact, I think I will be fussy cutting. So I'm going to ink up my leaves. I think I possibly need to be re-inking my Memento ink because it's not looking fantastic. That'll do. It'll do. So I'm going to come down here with that. So I'm going just to the bottom right hand corner of a rectangle of scrap. Morning, Judith. No snow in Pevensey either. Heavy rain all night. Yes, we had heavy rain all night. Fingerless gloves, but with a fold over mitt. Oh, I see. Yes, okay. I used to have a pair of those somewhere. No, I used to have a pair of those, and they are somewhere. I just don't know where. So that's that done. Let me grab my chamois and clean that off, because I'm going to need to change block. So I'll pop that to one side for the moment, and I'm going to bring in my butterfly and just going to do a check on positioning. Yeah, that works. That'll work. Of course, you realise I had intended to use the flowers, so I think I might actually... Excuse me one moment, I pulled the wrong stamp out. I want the flowers, not the leaves. I'll use the leaves for something else. Hello, Ruth. Mid-bread making. Oh, all you people who do wonderful things like make bread. Although having said that, this is going to be my week for cooking. Normally my husband is very, very good. Well, no, I'm not going to say normally. My husband is very, very good and does most of the cooking. It's my turn this coming week. So, and we're on a bit of a January diet, which will probably end up as a February diet as well. So I'm trying to use some different recipes. And my brother and sister-in-law are fans of the books, the cookery books, A Pinch of Nom. I don't know if you've ever come across those. So I'm trying some Pinch of Nom recipes, and they have things like fakeaways, so they're sort of takeaway things, but not quite, if that makes sense. Just going to add a bit more ink to the butterfly, which I can just about. Can I get him in there? Do I want him up there? I can get him up there. I'll pop him up there. I want him actually getting onto the... So it's onto the flowers. So let's clean that off. Pop my lid on my black. Never craft when you've got a cream top on, is all I can say. You only got them from Christmas. Good grief, Audrey. They shouldn't be falling to pieces yet. You're right. I think I would be taking them back. You've got Pinch of Nom and they're well thumbed. Good. Well, I'm doing the chicken sausage casserole tonight. So fingers crossed. Apart from anything else, it means I can set it up early, put it in the slow cooker, and then just get on with stuff. I've got a crafting day with some friends today on a Zoom call. So I'm trying to do 5 things at once just for a change. You're waiting for the very book. Excellent. I have to say there are 3 books now that I found. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, but they've all got really, really nice recipes in. So that, I think, is that one. Yes. I haven't used the infill stamps yet, which is one of the reasons I am using these this morning, because I haven't used the infills. I've only used them with blends. So that's going to go there. Right, okay. So first thing I'm going to do, and I do this all the time with my photopolymer stamps, when I first use them, I rub them. Probably not great to have rubbed them having just put hand cream on, but because they quite often have a film on them. Hello from California. Hello Veronica from California, and hello Candy. You're all so early or late, depending on how you look at it. As in, you're getting up so early. So yes, I like to take the film off, or the finish off the photopolymer stamps that is put on in the processing, in the manufacturing process. A good quality white eraser does the same job. This happens to be made by Maped. I've had it for years, don't know if they still make them, but any reasonably good quality white eraser will do the same job. I know someone did ask me which make it was. They are, Pamela, they are wonderful books. Earlier than usual. Eve, absolutely, Candy. Right, so I am going to use Petal Pink for the flowers. Could someone please let me borrow their brain? So these are meant to not line up perfectly. Let's just get that out there now. So that's what we end up with. And then, of course, I should probably have used Bumblebee, bearing in mind that I've got this piece with yellow flowers on. But one of the joys of the pattern paper is that you know that all the colours are going to work together, because Stampin' Up's told us that they do. My pool party is quite juicy, so this may be a bit too juicy, but we'll give it a go. So there we go. No, that's good. Happy with that. So they are distinctive, as in that they're like a photograph in a newspaper. There are lots of little dots, so it does build in some dimension. So let's pop those to one side, just clean them off. Not quite as bad as Memento, but still not great to get your new jumper. So I'm going to trim it down, and then I might trim it down some more, because I'm just going to chop with my little mini chopper. So that's going to be a bit short and fat. I want a bit more length in it, so I'm going to, although actually, oh, I don't know. I'm going to take a little bit more off, but I don't think I need to take much more off. So I'm going to just trim a wee bit more off each side, and I don't mind if I chop into the pictures. I have no issue with that. I have to say it's going to, ooh, that's not straight. It's going to be interesting doing the measurements for those of you in North America, because I'm just chopping, as opposed to going to a definite measurement. Well, dare I say, if Belinda likes them, then I would say they're good, not least of all because she is a cordon bleu trained chef. Cook, whichever. So I'm really just trimming it down so that the image fills the piece of paper or card. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on a mat, and I think that might be where I introduce the Bumblebee, just to bring something from the paper to here. Oh, I've just got to check something on. I'm running a WhatsApp event as well. No, that's all right, sorry. So, yeah, I've got about 5 things going on this morning, and it really is doing my head in. Right, bumblebee. So, this is my bumblebee scraps. Well, it's some full-size bits, but it's got my scraps in it as well. So, yeah, may even work. Not quite enough, although I could just chop that off a bit. I'm going to be very frugal in my card, so I'm going to chop the bottom off the flower, because it doesn't matter. Yeah, that works. Right, so I am going to line that up, pop it into my chopper. I don't want to stick it down yet, just in case. I'll just put a little bit of adhesive just so that it doesn't move, but I don't want to stick it down just in case I make a boo-boo. Now, for those of you who don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would be thrilled if you do, because it really helps to spread the channel to other people, which is always nice. And it's free to do it, so that would be great if you would. And also, if you want to catch me live, hit the notification bell, and then you will be alerted when I go live. Right, so that's going to go there, that's going to go on there, and then I'm going to pull in something, probably a bit of ribbon to go there. Just having a look at what ribbon I might use. I might actually use white. Decisions. Or I could use the bumblebee. I could use the bumblebee from the annual catalogue. Yeah, good. Love it when a plan comes together. So, I will be using some dimension as well. I've got to tidy my desk up. Why do you use a chopper instead of a cutter? No real reason, actually, Pamela. I use both. Mostly because I was using small bits of paper or smaller bits of card, but no real reason. It's just how the mood takes me, really, on any particular day. I tend, if I'm working in smaller pieces, I tend to use the cutter, but as it's not available for customers, it's fairly unkind of me to do so. Great minds think alike, Tara. We also have gingham in Bumblebee. So I could have selected, where is it? My ribbon's all supposed to be in colour order. There we go, it's that one. So I could have used this, but it's too busy. So a plain ribbon is better when you've got a busy background, in my humble opinion. So that's that. Now I'm going to add my ribbon before I stick down my card, everything onto my card base, so I can hide the ends. I'm not one of these people that likes going round the card. You've only just got your cutter. Okay, Pamela, well yes, as I say, it's personal choice. I haven't been a great fan of guillotines most of my crafting life, which I have to say is longer than I would like it to be. No, that came out wrong. It's only longer than I would like it to be because I've been alive for and crafting for a long time, and it horrifies me that it's been quite so long. But yes, I've never been a great fan of guillotines, but actually I do quite like our guillotine that was part of the joining offer last year. So I'm going to have that there, and I'm almost, do I want to put a sentiment on there? I might. Let's see what we've got. This is where I make it a complete boo-boo. Yes, I can pop best wishes in there. So let's pop best wishes in there, and I'm going to pull out the dots as well, although I'm going to annoy myself with the dots, but that's fine. So, best wishes, which I will do in Memento, and because it's photopolymer, I'm reasonably comfortable that I will be able to stamp it straight. I'm just reading Candy's comment. Memories of teaching small children. Anytime I think of bumblebees. The Baby Bumblebee song. I don't know. I know the Baby Bumblebee song, and that's probably a good idea. That's a very good comment, Veronica. Yes, you go for the cutter for quick cutting, as in the guillotine, rather than the trimmer, which I tend to use for more thought out cutting. My brain. Do not oversleep when you are about to do a YouTube live. Right, now this is, I'm going to put a post-it note here simply because I want to come off the side, and I should have thought about this before I stuck it down. So this is me doing things in the wrong order, but it's also me going okay, Candy, you're bringing home a baby bumblebee. Won't your mummy be proud of me? Absolutely, yeah. I can see why that would go round and round in your head, and thank you for sharing that. It's now going to be going round and round in my head too. So what I'm going to do is ink up and stamp off in both colours, and I'm going to use the second generation in both colours for some dots, just to fill in these white spaces. And I'm not going to do a lot, but I am going to have them coming off the edge, which is why I've put down the post-it notes. So that's that one, and then the petal pink. And they are very light colours, so this is a very, very light touch. I'm just going to turn it over so it's not too obviously the same. God, I'm shaking this morning. I haven't had enough coffee. Thank you. Can I just say, baby shark? I'll give you an earworm. Same idea. And I don't have kids, so let me just hold that up for you. Can I? Just going to check that you can see that. So can you see we've got the little dots? The blue is easier, the pool part is easier to see than the petal pink, but it's there. And it just helps fill in that white space. I really don't like white space. So that then makes me happy that I can have that there. So my logic for the positioning, thank you, Audrey. My logic for the positioning of this is going to be around Instax or Polaroid photographs, where we are very comfortable having a wider space at the bottom and then even all the way round. So that's what I'm going for. So I'm just going to line my paper up on my grid paper, position my ribbon first, take that out, so I can now see that my ribbon, in fact, let me grab a pencil, I'm going to make a mark on my designer series paper as to where my ribbon's going, so I can then see that just there. In fact, I'm going to really cheat. I'm going to use my whatnot to make a raised bit, so I now can see through. I'm going to cover it up anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I can then feel it's there. So I need my adhesive for my ribbon to be there and there. I can then add one end of my ribbon just by eye. Turn that over and I can see the lines through my silicone mat. Actually, I don't need to, do I? God, I'm making my life difficult for myself, aren't I? So if I line up on my grid lines, I can then pull this so that it's taut but not overly taut, and just line that up. Didn't need that. And there we are. So that is now straight. It's a lovely colour combination, isn't it, Kay? Pool Party and Petal Pink. Know what to do. Well, there you are, Pamela. Post-it notes are brilliant. Going in random order helps figure out how to fix oopsies. Absolutely. Right, so I'm going to stick this down to my card so that I'm not worrying about the Seal Plus. I'm going to pop some Seal Plus on top of my ribbon so that I know my ribbon is now going to be stuck both to the card and to the paper. Now, we had a discussion earlier in the week about using Tombow on white cardstock but being happy to use it on pattern paper. Hello, I'm using it on pattern paper. Oh, and I do just need to and I'm just scribbling. I need to fold my card purely because there, right, one end often ends up slightly longer than the other, and I want that to be at the front, so this is my front because it is slightly longer. So there we go. Pop the lid on. Then I'm going to press, and I do like to press from the back as well. So that's our basic card. Somewhere I have a bone folder buried under my designer series paper. I must tidy my craft room. Then that's going to go on top with dimensionals. Sticky scissors. Might as well use up some of the edge pieces. I know I've said this before, but in the days, do you remember the days when we could do things face to face? Hi, Jan. Never late. Morning, Wendy. Yes, do you remember when we could do things face to face back in the olden days? I used to run a couple of live events, you know, face-to-face live events, and I would go through the bin afterwards and take out the sheets of dimensionals that had the edges still on them. Didn't matter how many times I told people that the edge is just as good to use as the middle. Nah, still went in the bin. And as they had to bring their own adhesives, you'd think, wouldn't you, that they'd have learnt? Clearly I wasn't a very good teacher. Right, so let's bring the backings off. And I do know we've still got to do the inside, which we will do in a minute. I'm trying to be good and do the insides of cards. I normally wait until I'm ready to send them because then I can turn them into whatever I need them to be if I haven't got a sentiment on the front. So I'm going to gauge where this is even all the way round and reasonably square. So that's that. And then I'm going to grab another piece of Whisper white. White. So the only things I think that aren't in the European warehouse at the moment that are in basic white are the Memories of More cards and envelopes and the note cards and envelopes. I think I'm right in thinking everything else basic white is now in, I think. It is almost Merry Merlot. I can't remember what it's called. It's nails ink, so it's going to be something odd. Hello, Jessica. Right, so inside of the card, I'm tempted just to use our splatters. So I'm going to bring in a scrap. That really is terribly scrap. Let's bring in a slightly cleaner scrap. The back of a shipping order. Ooh, and what DSP is it? Teeth. It's the Fields and Flowers from the Sale-a-Bration brochure. There was an update on the UK, certainly demo site. Let me just bring it up. About orders. Let me just bring it up. Let me just find it. About things shifting through, which is never a bad thing. So let me just bring it up. For those of you who are not in Europe, we've had a bit of an issue with the with getting things out of Germany because we're now on Brexit, the rude word. So the latest UK shipping update. We've received, this is from Stamping Up, we've received some additional information regarding current UK shipping challenges from their logistics and shipping vendors in Europe. They've been notified that all shipments UPS has in its possession will be released to leave for the UK this weekend, and the balance of shipments will be on their way by Tuesday. So fingers crossed, things are getting moved through. I think once we get over this initial hiatus, things will then fall into place. It wasn't helped by the fact that the German Customs Authority decided that just after Brexit happened would be a marvellous time to update their customs software. So that caused delays as well. So I'm lining this up roughly on a line, and I'm just going to then use this bit here, so this emboldened bit, as my line for stamping. Now, I've stamped off the side with that, so I'm going to stamp off the side that way, but it will be fainter. The reason I do that, I will show you in a moment. I'm going to just do that on an angle and then clean that off. So let's get rid of that one and bring in our pool party again. Hi, Nora. So I don't know if you heard, Nora, but hopefully your parcel will actually be moving a little soon. Right, so I've got a bit of petal pink there. I'm going to come in with my pool party and stamp there, and I'm just going to find a scrap and then stamp, and you should be able to see that where I was off the edge, because I didn't actually go all the way down, that is now full strength and this is part strength, so I wouldn't use this stamp. It's not so much of an issue with dots, but if this was a solid image, then you would want to make sure you don't put the line in the middle of your card, because you will end up with a line. That was a very, very convoluted way of putting it. I'm actually going to stamp that off because this is quite a lot darker than Pool Party, and I am going over the top of Petal Pink even. So yeah, I think that will do. So just a bit of something. I'll bring it up in a minute so you can see it. Just clean my stamp off. So again, I just want to make sure that I am in camera. Can you see? It's just a little bit of something, but nothing major. But it just finishes off the bottom of the liner. And then this, because it's white, I will use seal. You've just ordered the Darling Donkey. Well, sorry, I wasn't concentrating on my seal. The pattern paper is a level 1. The stamp set is a level 2. So from a UK point of view, you can get the paper for a £45 spend. For the stamp set, it would need to be a £90 spend. Obviously, the figures are slightly different in other regions because the currencies are different. They have committed offences against crafting. I love that, Candy, yes. Let's use Always Artichoke in our complaint card to them. Not one of my favourite colours. You're still in picking, it's been a week. So, no, B, right, okay. We're talking about two different things. You're talking about the Stampin' Up product. I'm talking about UPS. So UPS have had delays. That's nothing to do with Stampin' Up and things being on back order. What you're waiting for is for stock to come into the warehouse. Snap with you, Audrey. You're waiting for stuff coming into the warehouse. There isn't a backlog in the warehouse. So things are still picking because I've had customer orders that have left. That have left the warehouse in the last few days. We're talking about two different things. So Stampin' Up are still picking in their usual fashion, but if you've got anything that is on back order, it will still be picking. Jan, I would love to do Paper Pumpkin alternatives, but you're in North America and that's where Paper Pumpkin is, and I'm in the UK, so no. Yours is the pre-order from the 5th of Jan, though. Oh, okay. I don't know then, so I would call demonstrator support on that. I don't know why that's happening. I did have one 5th of Jan. No, all my 5th of Januaries have now moved. I don't know, Audrey. Sorry. Do you have the kit Hello Dear Friend? Hold on. I think this is the other one. No, yes, I do. I'll show you that in a moment, okay? Right, so that is our first card with its little bit of fluff in the middle. So I'll have a quick break to show you the Hello Dear Friend. And so I have made up one of each of the cards in the Hello Dear Friend box. I do need to do some alternatives, which I know I keep promising to do, and I must do. Part of the problem was because we didn't have the white card. I was waiting. My excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Right, so there are, I think I'm right in saying 4 designs. Right, yes, 4 designs. So these are they. So you get this gold twine, not gold, copper twine. Plymouth, Wisconsin. Hello, Mary. So, and this is the one of the vellum. It's gold. It's not gold. It's copper foiling, and you get a mini Misty Moonlight stamping spot. But I'm using my full size. So that's one of the other ones. And then we've got these two, right, so let's start with, so these ones from a US point of view, maybe for the whole of North America, these you can put in the post. We can put them in the post in the UK as well. From a North American point of view, I'm not convinced that you can use these in the post, but you can in the UK. Hello, Karen from Scotland and Joanne from Canada. Hello. So this is the Hello Dear Friend all-inclusive kit, which I'm just showing. Kay asked if I had it. So I'm just having a little break at the moment, and it's 4:45 a.m. Mary, for what it's worth, someone is here and it's 2 a.m. or 2:45 a.m. They may have gone to bed now. Anyway, so yes, just be aware, Kay, that these, if you're in North America, you may not be able to use these in the post. But you get masses and masses of stuff. So let me just, right, so this one uses these. The idea is that you've got enough to make, I think, 4 of each, 3 of each, 3 of each. So we only need 2 for the card, and we've got 12. So we only need 6 to actually make the card. So we've got lots spare of those, which I know is quite often what happens with paper pumpkin. For the small yellow flowers, again, we've got quite a lot. I mean, basically, we've got spares of most things. I don't think we've got spares of the big elements, but we have got spares of the smaller elements. Let me just see what else we've got in here. I could be completely wrong. Lots and lots of labels. I mean, more labels than we need. So yes, we've got about the right number of some things and more than enough of others. You get the stamp set, which you don't use for all of the cards. You only use the sentiments. So you've got extra stamps, and this is where I will be doing alternatives. To use the stamps and to use up the spare bits. And card bases, envelopes, vellums. Again, vellum, I think you've got, yeah, vellum, you've got what you need. Dimensionals, the stamping spot. These are the envelopes. So printed on the inside. This is card base. This is card base. Card base. More of those envelopes. You get a block, a thinner block. I think it's a lovely kit, Kay. I prefer this to the other all-inclusive kit in the mini catalogue. That's not to say I won't get. Actually, it's not an all-inclusive, is it? It's a project kit. So striped lining for your envelopes. So yeah. Oh, and mini glue dots. Really mini glue dots, plus your twine, which I seem to have lost. There we are. And you get colour instructions. They're very straightforward instructions that just says, so number 1 is stamp, for example. So I think it's a really nice set. So the advertising break is finished, and I'll go back to a touch of ink. Right, back to a touch of ink. So we've made our first card. The second card, I'm going to use this piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to use the hummingbird. You're very welcome, Kay. I'm more than happy to show. That's not. Oh, I could have it that way, couldn't I? I'm trying to not be doing fussy cutting, because I quite often fussy cut, and not everyone is a great fan of fussy cutting. So let's see, that's just jade, isn't it? inevitably, that's Bermuda Bay. Oh, actually it's Pool Party. That's not Pool Party, that's Mint Macaron. Right, I will get some Just Jade out and I'll go for a landscape card. Just Jade, Just Jade. There we go. Right, Just Jade. So, this is where I'm going to be using my trimmer because we're on a large piece of card. So all I'm going to do, let's get rid of the cutting blade, is line up for International A4, you're lining up at 10.5 centimetres. For 8.5 by 11, you would be lining up at 4.25. And then I'm just going to cut that in half. So this is about 14.8 centimetres. 8.5 by 11 would be 5.5. Ooh, maths. What's slightly alarming is the card is actually warm, and I'm trying to work out why. Because I pulled it out in front of the heater. That'll be why. Right. In the US, you can tuck the smaller card. Absolutely, Candy. Good idea. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to use my trimmer again. So the cutter, the guillotine, only goes up to 4.25 inches. And it's only, this is more than 6 inches. I wouldn't put anything larger than 6 inches in. I mean, I don't think it will fit. No, it won't fit. So anything that is bigger than 6 inches top to bottom, and that you want to measure more than 4.25, I would always use the trimmer. So, and I do lift this up, but often I don't. So let's again go 3 7/8, 5 5/8. I am actually an imperial girl, not a metric girl. So I cut everything to imperial measurements and then convert them to metric. So that will fit nicely on there. And that's going to fit quite nicely on there. I might trim it down a wee bit, but I'm going to be comfortable with that. And I'm going to stamp that in Memento. Don't you love how I can just pick it up and move it around? The joys of photopolymer stamps. I know this is leaves, and I know a hummingbird would normally go for flowers, but I've stamped it, so I'm using it. I'm going with the flow. Now, I'm going to be overlapping the leaves a little bit, but not so much as it will be weird, because I'm overlapping it with the same colour ink. Bye, Jan. No peace for the wicked, absolutely. So can you see, it's not a problem that they've touched, because it's the same colour ink. So let me just clean that off on a dirty piece of, I like to keep all my black cleaning on one piece of my chamois. I know I'm sad. It's just the way I am. So pop that back onto the sheet. So we have been told that we're going to get a slightly different design of stamp case for the photopolymer. The stamp case will be the same, but the paper is going to come all the way around the back, which means that we can then, they're going to print the designs on the inside so that we can stick our stamps to the inside of the box rather than having to worry about bits of paper. We'll still have the bits of cellophane, but they just will be. Wish they hadn't retired those cases. What, you mean the thick cases? We've still got these cases. We've got these, we can still get these cases, and the half wood. It's only the full wood we can't get, so the deep. So you can get this, and you can get this. You just can't get the one that's double thickness. Sorry, I've just got to check my WhatsApp messages again. Right, it's okay. It's just that I had an alert, and as I've said earlier, I'm running 2 things at once at the moment. She's always a bit frightening. Right, so I'm going to pull just Jade and something else. Misty Moonlight, I think. Just Jade and Misty Moonlight. It's a fluff. My Misty Moonlight I'm storing upside down because it's very well inked, which is just as well because for those of us in Europe, we can't get the current or the 2020-2022 in colour re-inkers yet. Just saying. No, it's not that one I want, it's this one. So, that's the Hummingbird, and let's take off the flowers and pop on the leaves. Do be careful when you pick these up because there's some little floppy bits, so don't pull too hard or you could rip your photopolymer. Right, so I'm going to do the leaves with Just Jade and the Hummingbird with Misty Moonlight, but I am going to stamp both of them off. So I'm going to get rid of those bits for the moment so that I've got a flat surface to work on. So just, oh, it's a spider. Okay, I thought it was a bit of fluff. Come on, spider, off you go. Got a spider crawling over my desk. Right, so just, unfortunately I'm not concerned about spiders. It's just as well because my husband is terrified of them. B, it's because I use them all the time. I've just kind of learnt them. Right, so that needs to go that way, and as with the other ones, these are going to be outside the box. I don't think they have retired the half cases. I think they're not in the catalogue. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the half cases that they've retired. I would have a look on the online store, Wendy. So yeah, maybe it's the half ones that they've retired and not the... I'm possibly wrong. Probably. Let's not even go as far as possibly. I'm probably wrong. That's better. Right, and then Misty Moonlight for the Hummingbird. So Kay is petrified of spiders too. Now, let it be said, Kay, that my husband he's actually terrified of all creepy crawlies. It's not just spiders. He's incredibly short-sighted, so he wears contact lenses and glasses. Not at the same time, but he wears either contact lenses or glasses. And he... again, this isn't going to line up perfectly. This is a great stamp set if you're not great at two-step stamping. He can spot, without his glasses on, that's quite dark, but hopefully it'll dry back. He can spot, without his glasses on, a spider from one side of the room to the other, even if that spider is the size of a pinhead. Anything else he can't see. Spider, absolutely. So he'll go, oh no, there's a spider. And I'll be looking across and going, where? And he'll point it out to me, and it's literally, it's teeny. So, yeah. So yes, that is drying back a bit. It is quite dark. I'm not sure that I would use Misty Moonlight again. Only the standard ones. No! Oh well, there we go. Boo-hoo. Right, I'm going to bring out my guillotine again, because for me, this is going to be slightly the wrong dimension. So I'm going to take a bit off the bottom. And I actually like having some of my stamping going off. I think it looks a bit more intentional. So we've got that, but I do want something around the outside. I can't decide. Shall I put Misty Moonlight, black, or just jade around the outside? Belinda, the purple posy thing is not the same issue. So no one anywhere in the world can get purple posy re-inker, because there was a problem with the formulation, or indeed purple posy classic ink. There was a problem with the formulation and it wasn't stable. Just jade. Thank you, Kay. So yeah, because it wasn't stable, they withdrew it as a colour. So yes, don't get confused between that and purple posy, or that and the re-inkers. The re-inker problem that we have in Europe is because of the German customs. Everyone's saying just jade. Good. We're going just jade. I'm going to be brave, and actually, do I want to stamp? I'm going to do some stamping first, because I kind of want those splatters in again, and I'm just going to use just jade, and I'm going to stamp it off. Hello, Kathleen. Welcome from Florida. So I'm going to, stamp off to fill in some of the white, and I'm not going to put a sentiment on. So yes, the issue with the re-inkers is to do with German customs and the fact that they are a liquid. I don't know why they think it's okay to have the same ink in a bit of sponge to clear customs, but they are perfectly happy for the ink to be in a piece of sponge. So we're getting our ink pads, but the whole problem with the re-inkers is down to German customs, plus we've changed our supplier for some of our ink colours, and as it's the supplier, not Stamping Up, who have to provide the information for customs. Every time we change supplier, we have to get the ink through customs again. So for those of you in Europe, please, please, please don't think it is anything to do with Stamping Up. It isn't. It's German customs. And I have to say, I think part of the reason things are taking a while to get out of Europe post-Brexit might be a similar problem. That's just me. As I understand it, the problem with re-inkers per se and German customs is because the retiring, outgoing President of the United States put tariffs on Mercedes-Benz. Where did I get my pockets? They are from Amazon. They are, I think, I've bought them years ago. Let me see if I've got the box. Not sure I have the box still. No. I believe, whoops, I believe they are called job pockets, but they're very stiff plastic. And as I say, I think they're called job sleeves, something like that. So that's going to go on there, that's going to go on there, and let's go completely just jade, and I'm just going to use that to measure. Where have my scissors gone? There we go. Yeah. Yes, job ticket holders, that's the one. They're brilliant, fluff. They are absolutely brilliant. If I was doing it again, because I use hanging files for my papers and they go in that way rather than that way, I would actually see if I could get ones that were open here rather than here. It's not the end of the world for me, but I would probably see if I could get those instead. Obviously, I mean, they may be available in the US, but obviously we have different sized paper. So I'm just going to add a bit of Seal Plus both sides of my paper, a little further up, and then I'm going to add, so much the same way as the first card, I'm going to add my Just Jade across the piece of paper. Whoops. Like that. So we're like that. Is that straight? It is straight, but it doesn't look it. And again, I'm going to add some Seal Plus on top of my ribbon so that it's trapped. And then I'm going to use liquid adhesive. It is great that we're getting another paper pumpkin, Wendy. I just wish we were getting them. Call me not content with what we're getting. I am very happy we're getting it. I would just like to be able to offer it as a subscription to some of my customers. Just saying. Because I think it's a brilliant thing. And I know I've got a lump in the middle of my designer series paper, but there we go. Smooth it down. The floral side would be fun for St. Patrick's Day. It would. To be honest with you, Candy, I think St. Patrick's Day is more of a thing in the US than it is in most of the UK. Right, I'm going to put a little mat round, as I said. Where did I put my piece of card away? Good grief. I'm just about to say I'm doing this and then I put it away and got distracted. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to stick this down and then cut it. Just to show you that it can be done. And I'm not putting adhesive everywhere. I'm just making sure that the corners are definitely covered. Kathleen, I'd love to agree with you, but I'm not convinced. The problem we've had, sorry, I've got an itchy eye. The problem that we're having is that we've been given a certain number of, I'm going to use my trimmer for this, of paper pumpkins to sell, and we're not selling them all, or tending not to. Sorry, I had to turn my heater off, it's getting far too warm now. So because they're not selling and they're ending up on the clearance rack, I think we're not showing how popular it would be, and I think I think it's different. If you can see, so let me use Kay as an example. Have I got the kit, the all-inclusive kit? Yes, I have. So she's now been able to see what's in it, so she'll decide whether or not she wants to buy it. If you were on a Paper Pumpkin subscription, you'd just get excited that you didn't actually know exactly what was going to be in it. That's my theory anyway. Okay, I'm just going to chop another short length of ribbon because I'm going to have this slightly offset. Thank you, Bee. I'm glad you're enjoying what I'm doing. The Misty Moonlight has softened a bit, so it's not quite as harsh this time, for now. So that's going to go there. I will be trimming that down, but I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals first. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm putting this one slightly towards the top because the ribbon's going to go through the middle. Do you know where I can get Paper Pumpkin? Yes. Paper Pumpkin in the UK, B, is only available occasionally. The one that is about to be, I think it's the February one. I think it's in the February, I think it's the February Paper Pumpkin that we're getting, but we're not getting it until April. There's an announcement about it on the demonstrator website, which you can go and see because Belinda's one of my team. So if you go into the demo website and find the happening now and promotions, you'll get the information about Paper Pumpkin. And I think it's April that it's going to be available, and it's going live for customers at the same time. And I want to say it's mid-April, but I haven't got the information in front of me. Well, that's my whole thing, I think, Candy, is that if we had it here, then we could get people excited. And as Kathleen says, you get excited to see what's in the next one each month. So you kind of get that build-up of excitement. So there we go. That is our second card. I will do a liner. Excuse me, I may do something slightly different with my liner. Bear with me one moment, caller. Right, I'm actually going to see if this will work. Let's throw a technique in. Gosh, we've been going an hour and 10 minutes. Right, I need my hummingbird stamp. I'm just going to hope that this works. If it doesn't, I'm not worried. We can do something else instead. Oh, I'll sort that out in a minute. So, hummingbird, Just Jade ink, 13th of April. Thank you, Wendy. Don't ask me why I did it that way up. There is no good reason. So I'm going to stamp my stamp onto my silicone mat, bring it up, get my card, and which angle do I want? No, I think I'll just go straight. I'm going to just lay my card over the top and rub, holding my card firmly in place. And we've got the mirror image of our hummingbird. So that's the way it's actually meant to be. This is the mirror image. It's not a new technique and it's nothing peculiar to me. I think it was even in one of the Stampin' Up! Catalogues at one stage, but it's a great technique. So if you want mirror images, that's the way to do it. So I'll pop that into my card and then I will call it a day. so that I can go back to my other crafting. I've somehow managed to get Just Jade on my new piece of paper. The only worry of that is that I don't know where from. I love that technique, Candy. I think it is just such a good technique. If I were doing hummingbirds kissing together, I would do the mirror image first, because you've got much more control over where the one going in the right direction is than you have over the one that's going in the wrong direction. So, yeah. They used to go on clearance. I'm glad that in North America that the Piper Pumpkins are selling out. I think they've got a bit more control over the subscription numbers. You haven't seen people use the mat for that? Oh, that's interesting, Audrey. I mean, you can use a bit of just cellophane, but the mat actually holds the ink better. So there we go. We've got that and we've got that. So those are our 2 cards for the day. I am going to flip you up because I've got to do the whole farewell and here are my cards bit. So my cards, I hope you like them. So thank you very much for joining me, and have a fantastic day. And I will see you, my next live is on Facebook at 11 o'clock UK time Tuesday. Then it's here again, 3 o'clock on Thursday, and then 11 o'clock next Saturday again. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll pop those down now and flip, putting my arms where I put inky stuff. And I will just do the